Hi guys, this is Sierra. Welcome back to my channel, and today we will be going for another episode of the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, where we will be talking about the two new chicken that one will be getting his new LD and one will be getting his Crystal Level 90 EX extension. So let's start. We will be talking about Zell, which is the chicken Wuss of the party right now. Not going to lie, Zell actually get a very surprisingly good rework out of his EX extension. His bravery attack now becomes a 4 single target bravery plus HP attack, which is essentially his skill 1 punch rush, and it will follow up by a full 4 AoE bravery attack plus full HP attack, which is essentially his burning wraith attack. This is when his dual buff is active, and his HP attack will becomes a 4 single target bravery plus HP attack, which is Booyah, follow up by a 3 single target bravery plus HP attack dealt by 3 times, which is his meteor barrage attack. So essentially Zell is going to have a very good longevity in this case, because his bravery attack and HP attack with his dual buff active is actually stronger than the original burning wraith and meteor barrage version because of the punch rush and Booyah follow up. So in this situation, Zell actually has a very good longevity, like I mentioned, because his initial skill when using without the dual buff is a free skill. It doesn't consume any of his skill count. And the only problem with using this bravery attack and HP attack instead of the burning wraith and meteor barrage original version is that it doesn't provide the fast turn rate that the original version provides. So if you want Zell to jump turns in between, you might want to use up his skill 1 and skill 2 when his dual buff is active instead of his HP and bravery attack. In addition to his rework on his skill 1, skill 2, bravery attack and HP attack, he also get an EX extension which now buff his EX into 3 bravery attack plus HP attack dealt by 4 times with 50% splash to the 2 non-targets. And do remember that this skill is ignore defense. So like every other Crystal Level 90 character, Zell EX actually became his best skill right now instead of just the skill that you use to upkeep his buff. So now essentially the way to use Zell differs quite a little bit. Because of how his HP attack and bravery attack now deals more damage than his burning wraith and meteor barrage attack, but it doesn't have fast turn rate, means that you only use the burning wraith and meteor barrage while his LD buff is not active. When using his LD, he does get the instant free turn whenever he breaks the enemy. So you might want to focus on using his bravery and HP attack instead of the meteor barrage and burning wraith to maximize his damage output during the active of his LD buff. His additional ability of course also get an upgrade. Right now he dealt 4 bravery attack with a new HP attack dealt by the end of the 4 bravery damage, and he also extend his buff from 4 turns to 6 turns, which now provides 30% self attack up, 30% self bravery damage limit up, and of course 20% bravery stolen overflow up. It also provides him the dual buff with this additional ability. So yes, that's the upgrade of Zell's additional ability here. So Zell essentially is not the hardest unit to use, but you do have to actually understand how his LD rotation works to maximize his damage in the most shortest amount of time. So if you want him to get all the instant turn rate while his LD is active, first of all, you will only activate his LD when his dual buff is active. That way, when he enters his LD, you can go into an attack, his bravery or his HP attack, depends on whether you want to go for AoE or single target HP attack, which will then triggers the free turn because he breaks the enemy. And then you'll use his skill 1, which is punch rush, which will gain another free turn and follow up by another bravery and HP attack, and this goes on. So by doing so, Zell can actually activate his instant free turn every single time he moves during his LD active phase. And also by doing so, Zell can go up to 5 continuous turns. So essentially it's going to be the same as he was during his LD release, but right now you're going to focus more on his bravery and HP attack rather than his burning wraith and meteor barrage attack of his skill 1 and skill 2. And in my opinion, Zell actually get a very decent rework in this EX extension. Aside from the fact that his EX is no longer required to just maintain his longevity and no longer there just for a filler attack, he also extends his longevity even further by having his bravery and HP attack being more powerful than his original skill 1 and skill 2 dual active attack. So in this situation, you can actually spam Zell's attack more frequently without actually having him to sacrifice the fast turn rate of his skill, since his LD provides the instant turn rate that he needs to activate the better version of his bravery and HP attack. And with the fact that he's also a turn hogger, makes him a lot easier to pair with units like Kane, like Cloud of Darkness, or even like Noctis, who was recently released with his EX extension. So I think for Zell fans, it's actually a very good rework. So rejoice, you can use him more, and you'll find me using him more as well in the upcoming stages. And coming out, we have the new wing guy called Llyod. Or is it Llyud? I think it's called Llyod. Anyway, he's a very powerful aura bot with healing capability and a very unique EX recharge ability to himself and his allies. To start things off, his skill 1 now consumes 30% of his current HP, and it provides bravery to himself based on the amount of HP consumed. It is a 6 single target bravery attack plus 1 HP attack dealt by 3 times, and it batteries the party after dealing the HP attack. His skill 2 heals his own HP by 60%, and it deals 8 AoE bravery plus 1 full HP attack, and is used to upkeep his Lancet buff. His EX is a 6 AoE bravery plus HP attack dealt by 3 times, along with 20% splash to non-targets. It also heals the entire allies and provides free ability on himself on his next turn, and it also fills the entire EX gauge of the allies to max, and it also provides 1 stack of his EX buff, which is Sterling Melody, for 8 turns. His LD consumes 50% of his current HP, and batteries the party based on the amount of HP consumed, and heals the party based on everyone's max HP. It deals 6 AoE bravery plus split HP attack dealt by 3 times, and fill his own EX to EX gauge. It also provides his LD buff, Wing Warrior. So essentially, Llyod is a very stacked aura bot with a lot of good auras. His additional ability heals the party based on 30% of their max HP, and also provides 30% party attack up, 20% party brave damage limit up by 5 turns. So his aura right now is very stacked. In total, his aura now provides 115% attack up, 40% brave damage up, 40% HP damage up, 55% brave stolen overflow, and 20% brave gain overflow, as well as giving HP regeneration to the party every turns. And with his additional ability active, it now provides a stack up to 145% attack up and additional 20% brave damage limit up. So Llyod in overall is a very stacked aura bot. His aura right here actually is quite similar to a BT effect, so you can see how good that aura is. The only issue I have, I think, with his kit is, as usual, as an aura bot, he doesn't have any brave gain up, which is quite sad because most of his skill relies on the brave gain as well. His high armor is Unity, so it's actually quite good to further boost the party brave damage limit up and HP damage limit up. His kit is also reliance to HP for maximum brave refund, battery, and brave gains. So for his artifact, I would say that you would want to focus more on his HP rather than his damage because of how good that particular department is. And although his damage is quite good, he's not really there for the damage dealer position. He's more of the aura bot where you want him to survive as long as possible and to provide the maximum brave battery to the party. So as an aura bot, you might think that Llyod can be very good with almost everyone, but while that's true, you can also pair him with unit that actually have a very good EX ability like Struggle, which is the upcoming Crystal level 90. If I do pull for him, I would definitely want to pair him with the old man, considering how good of a EX rework he will get later down the line. And with Crystal level 90 being a very good EX extension, Llyod's ability to fully fill the EX gauge is actually very good to use with every other units in the upcoming rework. So I think Llyod himself, if you don't have an aura bot, he's definitely the one of the premium aura bot choice to go for. He can also heal the allies, so essentially he covers up a lot of position as a supportive unit. And like I said, since he pairs really well with a unit that has very powerful EX, and we will be getting the EX upgrade for the units that are coming along with their Crystal level 90, so Llyod can essentially benefit a lot with that situation in mind. Right now, I think he can pass really well with, like I said, Struggle, and of course Noel, which relies heavily on his own EX to do the maximum damage. You can even pair Llyod with older units like Iroha, which also relies on her EX to do the best damage, and also you can pair him with units that refill EX as well, like Ashe, to actually get that EX spam. So it really depends on how you want to play, but Llyod essentially provides a lot of utility to be very flexible as a third member in the party. So for my pool plans on this particular wing guy, I already have Zell in my main account, and I plan to skip Llyod in the main account because of the amount of aura bots I already have, and I will be pulling for Lock, which will be released later down the line. And Lock aura for me is a lot more than enough to sustain the entire party bravery to the maximum damage. As for my alternate account, since I'm going to be skipping Lock in the alternate account, I will be going for Fear instead, and I will definitely need this aura to sustain since I don't have a lot of units. So it's actually quite simple to what I suggest to you guys is, if you're lacking in aura bots, Llyod is definitely one of the more premium choice. Even if you have enough aura bot, you can even consider going for him because of how stacked his aura is. So far, I don't really find a problem with any of his kit, besides the fact that he doesn't have Brave Gain Up. In terms of his usability with the party members, aside from the one that I just mentioned, you do want to be careful when pairing him up with units that benefit from the party's HP, for example Ursula and of course Porum. Because of Llyod's consistent tendency to consume his own HP, it might not be the best to pair him up with this unit that relies on the maximum HP of the entire party to do the maximum damage. But of course, it won't be much of a problem since those are really just support unit, and the damage that they provide are really just bonus, side bonus instead of the main focus that you want to go for. And that's it about these two birds. Since one is a chicken Wuss and the other is a guy with wings, I thought they might be suitable and categorized together as birds. But other than that, yes, that is my plan and that is my explanation on these two characters. I'm very excited for Zell's rework. I can't wait to use him with his newly upgraded bravery and HP attack. And Llyod, I'll definitely try to use him in my alternate account and see how I can benefit from that sweet aura that he has. So thank you again guys for watching, and if you enjoy my content right here, do consider liking the video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you again guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.